Before the emergence of His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti, OFR, as the governor of Abia State, Otti Polytechnic was one of the state institutions badly consumed by the political and socio-economic rot that strangulated the progress of Abia State and robbed her of her dignity. The institution suffered infrastructural decay, with the academic and non-academic staff owed over 36 months of salary arrears. For many years, the institution could not hold convocation for her graduated students, and the students went through cumbersome processes to get their certificates after years of graduation. Admission and employment racketeering was the norm, and so many other vices. To arrest the ugly situations, Governor Alex Otti appointed Dr. Engineer Christopher Okoro to lead the school out of the wood and restore her to the path of exercise in character and learning. Today, Otti Polytechnic ranks as one of the state's institutions that has been speedily recovered under Governor Otti's focused and people-centered leadership. The list of transformations includes, but not limited to, regular payment of salaries restored for the first time in more than 10 years, the framing of 36 months' salaries arrears owed by the previous government, construction of a brand new school gate to enhance the institutional dignity and outlook, construction of the first ever 300-seater capacity lecture theatre, comprehensive renovation of every building on the campus, and the retrofitting of offices, classrooms, laboratories and workshops, massive upgrading of the Polytechnic Sports Complex to include a standard gymnasium and courts for basketball, handball, volleyball and lawn tennis, renovation and retrofitting of the Rector's Lodge abandoned for more than 10 years, establishment of a world-class digital creativity studio to provide a space for training students in contemporary digital arts, production of academic brief to guide academic and administrative operations for the first time in the history of the Polytechnic, the achievement of dependable electricity supply in the institution for the first time in history through above power and geometric, thereby ensuring a significant drop in the millions spent on the purchase of diesel in the past, expanding the frontiers of research and development through such programs as the Distinguished Guest Lectures DGL series, providing the political will, the solid financial foundation, and the all-round enablement for the movement to Osisioma, where the Polytechnic is expected to develop into a world-class technological institution. His Excellency Dr. Alex Choma Otti graciously approved the payment of salary arrears from different categories of disengaged staff. Approval of 1 million naira loan grant for each of the best 150 graduates from the last 3 convocation sets.
We are having a combined 3-year convocation. 150 of the best will receive grants of 1 million naira each.
Approval of the release of staff promotions held since 2008 and the abrogation of the national promotions system. The school has taken its pride of place as the quality of teaching and research have improved and enrollment tripled. Abia State has been on the global map for the right reasons in the last 24 months. To the glory of his, Governor Alex Otti, OFR, declared emergency on the education sector to quickly revive and restore functional and qualitative education in Abia's public education system after decades of neglect, resulting to the total collapse of education in the state. Governor Otti has repeatedly said in different forums that he is a product of our public education system from primary to undergraduate levels, stating clearly that he couldn't have been where he is today without education. Under the watch of Governor Alex Otti, OFR, education has received the highest allocation of 20% in the annual budget of the state till date. To achieve faster results with far-reaching positive impacts, Governor Otti unbundled the Ministry of Education into the Ministry of Tertiary Education, headed by Professor Eme Ucheme as the Commissioner, and the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, headed by Elder Goodluck Ubochi as the Commissioner. At the tertiary level, Governor Otti's administration has initiated a series of reforms and interventions to restore functional and qualitative education. He inaugurated a visitation panel to Abia State University, Uturu, to find out the problems and challenges of the school and come back to the government with a report. Governor Otti has started the implementation of the white paper report, which includes the appointment of a new management team headed by Professor Ndukwe Okudo and the governing council chaired by Right Honorable Agwo U. Agwo. The building of brand new faculties of law and agriculture in preparation for the relocation of the two faculties from Umuahia back to Turu so that all the students will be in one place. During a recent visit to the school, Governor Otti apologized to the students over the very unpleasant situation which they study under, with a decisive promise to make things better. He ordered the construction of a brand new cafeteria for the students, announced the construction of a 5,000-bed capacity male and female hostels. He equally ordered the pulling down of the not-fit-for-purpose staff primary school and the construction of befitting one with temporary learning center made available to ensure that the academic progress of the students are not halted. The administration of Governor Otti last year commenced the payment of 10 months arrears of salary owed ABSU workers by his predecessor and many interventions towards addressing the neglect of the institutions by the previous administrations. The Abia State College of Education Technical Arochukwu, ASETA, was completely neglected. This is despite all the investments of the federal government through TED Fund. The institution was left in ruins and decays. Governor Otti's administration is upgrading the college towards making it a world-class academe. The institution is getting ready for the accreditation because all the programs lost accreditation. The accreditation is expected to happen by October. The state government is doing everything to upgrade the institution in the areas of facility and manpower. The government has installed a 500 kVA transformer. The water project is ongoing, while the fence that wasn't there is being constructed. A new management team was also instituted to drive the governor's vision of reversing the trajectory of decays and rains in the institution. Abia State Polytechnic and Abia State College of Health Sciences and Management Technology were not left out in the intervention by Governor Alex Otti. The incessant industrial actions in our tertiary education have become history, and enrollment into the schools are on the rise again. Abia State has been on the
office. Governor Alex Otti, OFR, was intentional about the development of the natural resources sector of a state which comprises of the petroleum and solid mineral resources deposits that the state is endowed with. This sector was not exempted from the underdevelopment and the rot that plagued the state for decades. To quickly turn things around in this strategic and important sector of the state's economy, Governor Otti appointed Professor Obunna F. Joel, a professor of petroleum engineering and former dean, Faculty of Engineering at the University of Port Harcourt, to drive his vision for the sector. In the last 2 years, deliberate efforts has been made to revive a sector that has remained dormant for years. They include, but not limited to, establishment of the Abia Industrial and Innovation Park, AIIP. This major capital industrial park development project sits on a 1,933 hectare of land at Owaza area of Abia State, Nigeria. When completed, it would be the first innovation cluster in Africa for scaling industrial production and manufacturing of goods and services. Preliminary oil and gas block and well study within Abia State revealed that the state has oil blocks totaling 53 wells, out of which only 8 are currently producing. Besides the 53 wells in the 4 oil blocks, a set of about 100 cap wells also exist within Abia State. These fields have a combined booked resource volume of about 100 million barrels. Abia State has set up a joint partnership with Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PETAN, to jointly own an oil company incorporated as Apton Energy Limited to enable the state and the oil-producing communities benefit fully from the oil deposits of the state. The state government successfully engaged an investor on the PPP arrangement to establish a 10,000 barrels per day modular refinery at Owaza AIIP location. That led to the approval given by the federal government to HSI Refining and Petrochemical Limited to establish the 10,000 barrels per day modular refinery at the Abia Industrial and Innovation Park AIIP site. Beyond oil, Abia houses several solid mineral resources across the length and breadth of the land. These ranges from gold to iron ore, uranium, quartz, kaolin, limestone, salt, coal, silver, glass sand, and more. The government assembled consultants and commissioned a field study of solid minerals in the state. This will help discover the quality and quantity of mineral deposits in the state for proper exploration and mining for the overall benefits of all stakeholders. The state government has also inaugurated Oil and Gas Producing Host Communities Stakeholders Committee to enable effective engagement with oil companies in Abia for Petroleum Industry Act PIA implementation. The government of Governor Otti is desirous to tap into the mineral potentials of the state, and most samples have been sent to laboratories awaiting results to kickstart a beneficial collaboration with the private sector and investors to explore and harness them. Abia State has been on the global map for the right reasons in the last 24 months.
The bottle has been taken from their mouth. And I have news for them. That feeding bottle is gone forever. So they need to go and find another job they will do. If it is about the feeding bottle, we have even thrown it away. So if you think you get my attention by criticizing and manufacturing facts, I'm not even paying attention. I want to thank you for joining. I want to thank you for the support you are giving the government, and I want to encourage you to keep supporting this government because it's your government. Like I always say, you will always, you cannot, and that's why it's called democracy. Democracy is a system whereby the majority will have their way, but that doesn't take away the say of the minority. So people are free to air their opinions. But the important thing is that whenever you look at the system, you will find that 95% of the people are happy with what we are doing. And for me, that's what's most important. The insignificant, tiny 5% that are willing, they will continue willing. The best we can do for them is just to sympathize with them. And then for those of you who are more informed than me, you need to go back and find out where they are coming from. You find a majority of them that are willing because the feeding bottle has been taken from their mouth. And I have news for them. That feeding bottle is gone forever. So they need to go and find another job they will do. If it is about the feeding bottle, we have even thrown it away. So if you think you get my attention by criticizing and manufacturing facts, I'm not even paying attention. So once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you.
Government house, I don't know. Umbunge kwesịrị ibi mmadụ ebirila ụlọ ya. Sarah ha ga ime mbe igwe government house a mee hotel. When the car ọba akụkọ adịghị ekegela ntị.